My name is Geoffrey Knight. I'm a resident homeowner in the city of Harrisburg, but I'm also the planning director of the city. And as I mentioned before in the kind of initial introduction, I've worn a lot of hats. And really, I've probably been involved with this process longer than and more integrally than anybody else here in the city, in terms of starting from the very beginning before the steering committee was even formed to going out on like Thursday nights to do presentations to neighborhood associations, going out on weekends to civic block parties. And so I worn a lot of hats so I can really approach this situation from a lot of different perspectives, but what I really like to do is comment on the format of the document itself. I think in the public engagement that we did a lot of good outreach for the first time. We got a lot of great input from the community. A lot of it was just kind of like, who are you and why should I care about this? But the longer we did it, the more really the ideas and the thoughts and feelings of the community were crystallized into a lot of different specific concepts, but also some broader overall themes. And I really want to note that, the process here and how we got to this point occurred after that. So I think we are both kind of working from the same base of knowledge that we gained. And I think where it diverged a little is in how that public comment was treated in the development of the document. As you all know, the city kind of had its own draft document that we based off of really the consultants' drafts, chapters that we got. And really what the focus of our work on that was really kind of trimming down some of this superfluous language. I think you've heard it in some of the other speakers we've had today. It's dense, it's long, and it can be really confusing to go into that document and just say, where am I even going to begin learning about what the future is of the city or what the goals of the city are. I know we had communications with other consultants during that time, and it kind of settled upon a template format, and I don't see that template played out in the draft document. I see a real variety of different types of formatting, language kind of disparities, a lot of grammar mistakes and structural mistakes in the document, which is something that kind of we really wanted to address in the editing that we had done at the beginning of this process, way back in early mid-2016. And a comprehensive plan is supposed to be visionary, but it's also supposed to be practical. It's also supposed to be something that the city can achieve, and it's also supposed to be adaptable. It kind of needs to be those three things to be an effective guide for funding, for new development, for investments in the community. And really what I see when I read through the draft document we have now is far too much specificity. You see a lot of, oh, this is definitely going here, or this is definitely going there. And I think we being both the city, but also the Planning Commission, have to ask ourselves, is that appropriate for a document? Do we want it to be, this definitely has to go here at this site, or we definitely have to invest this money? I mean, if we don't do it in that schedule or in that timeline, does that then mean that we're drifting from the plan? Or can the plan be adaptable enough to go in a lot of different directions? Is there not one way towards the end? Is there multiple ways to get to that end? And really that's kind of one of the big focuses, I think, of my interpretation of what the document is, that it's just far too specific. If